and please welcome Nick Dal Santo sitting at the end of the panel there. Nick, really appreciate you coming in tonight because it has been a bit of an odd 2 weeks for you. Obviously, the Kangaroos telling you that you're no longer required for next year. However, you do have a finals campaign and it's a really exciting campaign that you're about to start on the weekend. How are you feeling and how's the last 2 weeks been? It's
been an interesting 2 weeks. Obviously something that I've never been through. Obviously left St Kilda in a different circumstance and then 2 weeks ago I got told that your services are no longer required post the finals. So it's been an interesting feeling. One thing I will say is I was glad that I found out when I did. I did want to know that if this was going to be my last year, I'd like to know as soon as possible. And if the last game in Melbourne a couple of weeks ago was it, that I want to have my family and friends there. So I did appreciate the club telling me as early as possible and I asked for that. But it has been a weird 2 weeks knowing that we're building up. We've got 3 days until we play a huge final in Adelaide. So our preparation has been as normal as possible, but knowing that it may be the end if we don't execute.
He and the club have taken a tremendous battering over this, what they say, ill-timed news. You're now saying that you appreciated it and you don't know what all the kerfuffle's about. Are you saying that?
I can understand how people are questioning the timing of it, but as a player, and it was me in that situation, I wanted to know. If they had have come up with that decision halfway through the year, I would have liked to have known as soon as they had made that decision, and I think they did. So I found out on a Tuesday afternoon, after sort of probing and trying to get a bit of a feel for where I was at, and obviously the 3 other guys were in a similar circumstance, and I was comfortable. You know,
so
the coach was respectful.
Breath of fresh air, Jimmy. That's for you.
This is what I kept trying to say, Dal. That is that I thought Brad Scott copped a very unnecessary kicking over this because I know that you and Boomer and the boys were very, very keen to know. He's an unbelievably honest individual, Brad. You don't have to agree with the decision, and I know you didn't, as in you wanted to keep playing, but you're all very keen to know, and therefore he told you.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. I mean, it's fair to say I was disappointed with the decision. I didn't necessarily agree with it. Felt like I was playing some solid football. Feel like I can do it again next year, physically and mentally. But that's the decision of the club, and I'm respectful of that, and I was respectful of the way that they told me and went about it.
Nick, you addressed the playing group this week. What did you say and how did they respond?
Well, first of all, I didn't cry, so that was the first priority. It's an emotional thing. I don't know why you get caught up in it so much. I was really brief. You know, I've only been at North Melbourne for 3 years, so I didn't want to take up a lot of time. There's other guys that have done a lot more of that football club than I have. But I just wanted to pretty much say thank you for taking in an outsider, giving me an opportunity, welcoming me with open arms and giving me an opportunity to play footy again. And I love football, and that's basically where it was at. So I was really thankful. And by saying that, at that stage, it was 2 weeks ago, I said, we've still got some football to play. And it wasn't about me 2 weeks ago, and it still isn't this week. But I just want to win some more football games before we finish
you're going to make us sick,
well
surely.
said, Nick. This is
a love fest. It's a
Sam, you asked me the question. That's how I feel. It's a passionate game.
Please, give him a bit of a kicking for something. say you're not happy about something.
Well, because he did convince you...
I've said I'm not happy about the decision.
Well,
but
there
I respect it.
See,
I respect the decision, though.
So he convinced you to come across to North Melbourne and then he's virtually shown you the door, but he got the coach to do that, is that right? So how were you told? And you obviously thought you were going to probably continue on as it was. So when were you told?
I found out on a Tuesday afternoon. The coach called me, which was an interesting one when you get a phone call from the coach on a Tuesday afternoon, and he said, can I come around for a coffee? And I knew where it was heading, so I said, no, you can't. I know what you're about to do to me. I knew what was going on. Obviously, I felt like I've been playing some solid football for the second half of the year. Not much was progressing contractually, so you work it out. I mean, you can read between the lines. So when I got the phone call, he ended up coming around. We sat down for maybe an hour, just over an hour, and spoke about my career, the football club, the direction, and that's all you can really ask for. And I know people have copped it a little bit over the last couple of weeks, but as a player, it's all you want is honesty, and I felt like I got that.
Were you distressed and you couldn't do the presser the next day? Was that right?
Not exactly. It was still pretty raw, so we found out, say, mid to late afternoon on a Tuesday, and then it got released on the Wednesday. I just felt it was a little bit early for me to come out publicly and speak, and we still had a game to play that weekend. So as much as you like a little bit of me time, it wasn't about me that week. It was about North Melbourne playing round 23 and then getting ready for finals.
Well, Damien Barry also has some news on Nick Dal Santo's future very shortly, so make sure you stick around and watch the Footy show. Nick, I'm not quite sure if you've seen this or not, but when the news did break, Sam and I were actually at a primary school, and we want to show you this. We want to show you this again, one, because we love it, but two, because we want to show you because the young fans out there really do love you.
Tell us the other players that are on the list.
Nick Dal Santo?
No! He's not leaving! He's not leaving! He's not leaving! No, he's not! No, he's not!
Drew Petrie?
No!
and Ferrito.
Yeah, I don't care about him.
The end bit was a bit awkward.
That's really cute. I haven't seen that last bit in regards to Ferrito, but that's all right. That's probably
We
just
probably
a
won't
little
show him.
cheap shot on the way out.